All right, so today is Sunday. Uh, shoot. Okay, there it is. March 22nd, 2026. It's currently like 8:12 in the morning. I literally just got home from work. Um, in the gym, obviously. So I went to the gym before work. I did abs and back. So I'm not really, well, abs and back, or not abs and back, wow. Um, Chest and back. I knew it was going to be a good day. Got to see the cute girl for the first time all week. You know, I've decided to think of it. And yes, it is a gym crush. I will admit that. 100. I'll be 100 on that. But it's more like an omen. If I see her, I know it's going to be a good day. If I don't see her, not going to be a good day, but it's not going to be a bad day. So I don't really have bad days. I have annoying days. I have days where I'm struggling and I'm stressed, but in the crapshoot of things in the long run, not that bad. Get it done, I get out, and I move on. Um, so I got to see her, which made my day. And the interesting thing is, I don't know how to take this. She seems to be getting closer and closer to me. But I'm not taking it as a sign fully. As a weird sign. I take it as a sign that she trusts that I'm not going to be creepy. Because I know she's there. And I'm choosing not to stare. But I want to stare at her booty. I want to be the creep and just be like, staring. Just, ugh. Because it's cute. It's just cute as her face. You know. She works hard. And I don't want to, I'm not necessarily objectifying her. I'm looking at her progress, per se. Yeah, I'm a butt man, but she works out hard. Her and her friend work out hard. And it's a pleasure to see. But the weird thing is, when I first started noticing her around, she was staring. But she was keeping her distance from her friend. And I know she knows I know how to talk and I can talk. Because she's seen me talk to my buddy Jay, who I work with. But I don't know. I'm so not good with cues. I don't know what's happening. She seems to be getting closer and closer. Like, I was on the lat pull down after just doing upper back. Because the way I did my routine was I started out when I noticed her, I was doing my warm up set of my pull ups and push ups and pull ups. And then that's when I noticed her and I was like, yay, fuck yeah, it's going to be a good day. And the correlation with that was truck was actually there before I was, which was nice. That was a pleasant surprise. I was like, yay, the truck's here. That's awesome. So that's why she's an omen. Because I don't want to wait on my truck, but I have to sometimes. And if I see her, it means I'm probably not going to wait on my truck. If I don't see her, I'm probably going to wait on my truck. And I haven't seen her up until today. And every day, I was waiting on my truck. Today I see her, not waiting on my truck. And every other time I seen her, I wasn't waiting on my truck. So, bonus. That was a bonus. But it seems like she's getting closer and closer, more comfortable, not necessarily wanting my attention, but maybe wanting to strike up a conversation with me. I could put that theory to test Tuesday night. So instead of using my over the ear, my Beat Studio Pros, which are over the ear, which are more comfortable than me. I could wear my earbuds and my hood up and just, you know, make it look like I'm not wearing something that just drowns out everything around me. Because mentally, I'm doing that myself. Like, I disappear off into the ether, but I was having trouble, and I've been having trouble doing that a lot lately during the rest sets, is I'm not able to just disappear, just zone the fuck out. And that's how I noticed her doing that today. As I wasn't able to zone out, I was just, I was dead set focused on what I was doing. I started out with my push-ups and my pull-ups, and I moved over to the iso-horizontal lateral raise machine, or whatever the hell it's called, where you lay on your back. And then I moved into upper back, like did my cable rows, wide grip, narrow V grip, and single-handed. And then I moved over to my lat pull-downs, where I did wide grip, V grip, single-handed. And that's when I noticed her. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I moved over to the Smith machine, and I'm like, huh, okay, well, whatever. You know, I may look unapproachable, but I want her to approach me, and I want to see what the hell's happening here. You know, because if you're gonna work, yeah, you may be using the cable next to me, but you're also working out behind me and working out in front of me and next to me, which is weird all at the same rate. But I was not arguing it, because the reason I thought this was weird is the cable. We have 3 different cable row lat machine things, and her and her friend first started off at the far one, and some reason made their way to the one I was. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then they moved off to the Smith machine. I think they were just about done with the workout anyways. But I moved to the far end of where they were, because they went to the one I usually go to, which is all the way at the end, just because it's easy beeline back to the locker room or whatever. But I went to the one at the end, and I finished out my workout there. I think. Oh yeah, I believe I did, because I ended up doing regular bench presses, wide grip bench presses, and I did, because I ended up doing my incline bench presses last. That's what it was. And since I was already there, I did my 9 sets there. But they were already gone by the time I was done, so I was like, whatever. Didn't get to see Cardio Bunny, so I guess the omen I got was she was there, so it's going to be a good day, and I was happy about that. So I got to work, and the truck was there. Bam. It was a weird one, though. I don't understand what the warehouse is doing. So I walk into produce, I set my stuff down, and I don't think anything of it. I just go grab my vest, my work smock, and my gloves, which were in the meat dry room, chilling on the oil tank reservoir for our Jelly's deep fryer, where I always keep it. And I look over, and all I see is dump bin of potatoes, which made me happy, because they gave me a dump bin for my cardboard. And then I saw bananas, which I was like, okay. And then just a single dry, and I was like, what the fuck? Turns out I had 2 dry. Not that big a deal. The other dry, this is where it threw me off, had salads on top. Not just 1 or 2 boxes, like a whole layer. And I'm like, this isn't the first time I've seen some weird stuff out of the warehouse. I've had a wet wall pallet with apples on it. I've had a dry pallet with berries, and I'm like, I don't understand. And it's only in the last year. And the only thing I could think of is where our warehouse is here in Washington is it's 50 miles out of Yakima. And if Yakima City, if you know anything about that area, that's pretty much a rural farming community. So you got a lot of migrants. And, I know migrants are what, I-9 workers or whatever. And they might have got a new batch in after the whole freak out with the immigration stuff going on here in the United States. And they're training a whole bunch of new people, and shit's just not working out right now. And it's showing because weird stuff's happening, and I'm just like, I don't get it. But that wasn't the thing. Is like, it's been a good week. It's been an interesting week, kind of a stressed week. I weighed myself yesterday after the video because I forgot to do it, and I didn't catalog it in the phone. I'm now down to 149, which I'm down. What was that? 153 was the last big weigh, so I was 150 the other day. So I've lost 6 pounds, or 4 pounds, I guess. 4. Can't do math right now. My head's tired. Lost 4 pounds, which is dope. So, anyways, the truck was 14 pallets. 3 went over to meats. One was bananas. One was a potato dump bin, and then it was salads on every pallet. All my wet wall pallets. I had on a dry, and it was a single pallet for wet wall itself, and it wasn't even that big. It was like maybe hip height, which I'm 5'6", so that would put it about 3 or 4 feet. So like 6 or 7 layers. I got it all done in an hour. It was on my berries too, and even the berries. So I got that done and moved it over the wet wall. By the time I moved over there, it was break time, and so I had a bit of a mess. But regardless, by the time I got back from break, because I went on time, because I was putting stuff away, moving stuff around, went on time, got a drink, vaped, came back, and then it was crunch time, because I still had 3 pallets technically left of cold chain, including the apples and berries, which were on 2 pallets, and I had pretty much half a pallet of berries, again up to the hip, which was quite a bit with the way they layered it, because it was a layer of blueberries, a layer of 2-pound strawberries, a layer of 1-pound strawberries, and others, and raspberries, and I had to sort through it and figure it out. And at this time, I didn't have an extra pallet, so I could just plop, plop, plop. Well, I did, but I was really trying to save it for cardboard, my unbreakable cardboard. And I had grapes sitting on top of the apples, which I worked, and I set those 2 pallets off to the side. And then I started working the berries, and I got that done, and I cranked out. And, it was interesting, because then all of a sudden I'm moving on to my apples and citrus, which I'm breaking down. And I'm looking, and I'm moving. And that's the funny thing is, like, I know the area so well, I could take a look and see what will and won't go. And I'm busting it down, working it real fast, And I got it down to 1 pallet, got it into the cooler, and moved on to the 1 pallet, dry pallet I had up there. Had that broken down and ready to go right before lunch. I think I took care of it. I had it kind of all. No, I didn't take care of it till I got back from lunch. And then it was pretty much done. I was out before the morning crew showed up. I was literally in the back doing cardboard when the idiot old man couldn't even be patient enough for me to grab a fucking pallet jack. He just comes wandering around because I know what he was doing. He's doing it to waste time instead of doing what he needs to do. And I want to snap at him so bad, but I keep my mouth shut. Because I think he's either racist, sexist, or just straight all around a bigot. Because one of my bosses, who can fire him on the spot, happens to be black, happened to make the wrong, not the wrong, okay, the right comment at the wrong time. And he tried to pick a fight with her. She happens to be black. And I'm sitting there going, and a woman. And I'm like, interesting. Because a few months ago, one of the woman who trained me, who happens to be a lesbian, and mind you, I've been with the company for 9 years, and this is my second store. He's all pissed off with her, so I'm sitting there going, so either he's sexist, or he's just a straight bigot. Because I know he's from North Idaho. And I'm like, I wonder if he's just straight bigot. And I want him to make this kind of off-wall comment in front of me again, so I could be like, what's the problem, Scott? Because I'm thinking it, because you're picking a fight here. This is the second time you've done this to a woman or a person of color. So either you're racist, you're sexist, or you're straight out just a bigot. Which one is it? Just to see him get more. And the thing is, he can't fight. Legally, he can't fight because he just got called out for bad behavior. Something that goes against company policy. And I think they'd be pissed at me, say I can't do that, I'd be like, why? I'm just pointing out what I see. I see bad behavior and bigotry. So I'm pointing out what I see. If it's inappropriate, it's inappropriate. But he's acting inappropriate, and he needs to know in this day and age, in this world, in this state, that's not appropriate. So I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it was a good day. I got to see my gym crush. I got to adore her existence, which I don't think is playing well for me, but whatever. And I worked hard. I burned about 4,500 calories tonight, give or take, mind you. And circling back to what I was talking about earlier, I weighed myself and I was looking, and I went from 153.2 on February 8th to today, March 22nd, 149.6, where the 20th I was 150.3 and the 8th I was 153. So I've dropped some weight. Now, mind you, that was the 8th I was 33.7 pounds of fat. 2 days ago I was 31.7. Today I'm 31.3, which is good. Now my water weight has stayed the same. I'm 86.6. Bone mass has stayed the same. I did somehow lose a little. I've been losing muscle weight as I go. From the 8th to the 20th, I've lost 2.3 pounds of muscle mass. I went from being 76.2 according to on the 20th to today being 73.8, which, I feel it. So now the thing is, I went from on my subcutaneous fat too, like on the January 3rd, which was my lowest that I can recall off the top of my head. I went from being 18.7 back to today being 18.7, where the 20th I was 18.9, and my highest that I got on recording is for the last 90 days is 19.7, and that was the 8th of February and the 8th of March. So, yay, I'm losing stuff. Now, my kcal for my BMR is now back down to 1439, where it was on the 8th was 1456. So I'm dropping there. And my total BMI is now 24 even, which last time I was that was January 3rd. I mean, like to get rid of this pudge. And, you know, the best way I got to do that is just stay on this diet. So I don't know what else to say today. So I'm going to cut it here, short, sweet, and simple, and see you all tomorrow. I'm going to eat, probably watch some TikTok, and go to bed. So shall catch you all tomorrow. Later.